Okay, here we're looking at a 99% confidence interval, and we know the mean, the sample mean, which is 22. And we know that S is 5.5. So we are given the sample standard deviation. We do not have the population standard deviation. And N is equal to 21. And the population is 180. So if you do 21 divided by 180, that's going to be more than 5%, which means that we're going to have to use the population correction factor because you get 11.7%. So we have to use the population correction factor. Also, since we don't know the population standard deviation, we have to use the t-distribution. So we're going to look up the t-distribution in Excel. And if you remember, we talked about the t-score in section 8.3, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. So even though it says X in Excel, it is alpha. So be careful here because typically we don't think of alpha as X, but for some reason in Excel, it is. Well, actually, no, it's not. It says probability. But we want the probability of it not happening. So that would be alpha. So 1%, 1 minus 99 would be the 1%, and then we would change that to 0.01. So be careful there. 0.01, and the degrees of freedom is 21 because the degrees of freedom is n minus 1. And here n is 21, so 21 minus 1, correction. All right, so here is our t value. And we are going to check our t value to see. We're going to continue to round our critical value to 3 decimal places. So for this problem, t is 2.845. All right, so we have t. We can go ahead and get our approximate standard error of our mean. And that, since we don't have the population standard deviation, we're going to use the sample. So 5.5 divided by the square root of 21. So 5.5 divided by the square root of 21 is going to give us 1.2002. We're rounding to 4 decimal places. Now, I didn't work this in this order on the last video, but I'm just gonna take each one of these and identify it first and then plug it into my formula all at one time. So I have to do the population correction factor, which is n minus lowercase n, which is the sample, divided by 180 minus 1. And we're going to round that to 4 decimal places. Just make sure you don't forget to take the square root of this. So 0.9425. So now I have everything that I need to plug in to my formula. So I'm going to just highlight everything I need. That way it's easy to see. And down here, I'm going to plug it into my formula. So I'm going to do the sample mean, which is 22. I'm just plugging in, plus and minus t, which is 2.845, and then times the standard error, which is 1.2002, times 0.9425. So I'm going to plug that into my calculator, and I'm going to round to 2 decimal places. Okay, and when you plug that in, this is the confidence interval you will get.